All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you one more time for joining us at the Men Club. Let's talk live. We up in here. Let's get it. All right, y'all, we back up in here. We have a new person on the panel tonight. We want to introduce one of our homeboys, man, another dude that grew up with us right there in Ellerville, Georgia, Mr. Jackie Norman. Thank you for coming on, sir. Give you a round of
Oh,
applause. All right,
Good to be
all
here.
right,
Good
amen.
to be here. Good to be here.
all
Thank
right,
you. Thank you.
sir.
It's an honor.
Thank you for
Yes, sir.
joining us,
Welcome,
man.
welcome.
Yes, sir. And also, y'all, I did post the link to this on the men's club uh post, I guess. Now, if you want to join in, you can join in. If you get on here saying something crazy, you're gonna get cut off. I'm just gonna say it, tell you like that. We want to keep it positive. We're gonna talk tonight about Christmas, past and present. What I'm saying? What are some of the differences that y'all have noticed as we've gotten to be older men? Um, and the way we used to celebrate Christmas, and the toys we got and the things that we used to do. I remember Christmas. I'm gonna tell y'all about it in a minute. But just what's the difference? It seems like to me today that some of the kids, well, maybe Christmas don't ain't the same for them once they reach a certain age, and it just I was just wondering if anybody else, if it looked that same way to anybody else, or if it's just my opinion. I don't know. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do anything else, as we always do, let's start off in a little prayer. Cuz, will you help us out today?
Yeah, I got you. Father God, we come to you now, Father. Just thank you, Father God. Thank you for giving us your son, Jesus, Father God, as we get ready to celebrate his season, Father God. Father God, put in
Yes.
everybody's minds
Yes.
of why we celebrate this season, God. You know, that you brought a child into this world to sacrifice his life to save us from all our sins. Right
Yes.
now, Father
Yes.
God, we want to
Yes.
reach out to our families near and far, Father God, and just say Merry Christmas and have a prosperous New Year. These minimal blessings we ask in your son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
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 And I'm
Amen.
gonna say that, y'all. Merry Christmas. I should have started with that. Merry Christmas, man. I hope everybody's
Merry
having a
Christmas.
good Christmas break right now. The ones that are on break, the people that are on vacation and not
Yeah.
working this week. Um, if just another time for family. We get these two seasons every year of Thanksgiving and Christmas that it is supposed to be family focused, and it usually is about family. And I appreciate that. I mean, I really do appreciate that concentration on family during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I just hope that everybody's having a good and blessed, you know, Christmas Eve. I guess you want to. I don't want to say Christmas Eve. So, all right. With that being said, y'all, Christmas. What do y'all think about Christmas nowadays versus Christmas? Let's say the 80s when we was growing up. You know, one of the biggest things that we had going on when we was growing up back in the 80s was in our neighborhood, bicycles was the thing. If you didn't have a fresh one, you know, what I'm saying, that's what you wanted. You had to have a fresh bike every year. Because if I was about to tell y'all earlier, I remember a Christmas that it was like 90 degrees, and it seemed like every boy in the neighborhood got a bicycle, and we was all riding our bicycles all over town all day long. I mean, we rode so much that my butt was hurt when I got home, from sitting on that seat. And I don't know if little boys in the neighborhood are tight like that anymore. I like I said, I realized that uh our situation was maybe a little different from everybody else's because there was a lot of kids. It's just a lot of kids in the neighborhood, first of all. And we all knew each other, even if we went like tight friend, you were tight enough that if I saw you, I'm riding with you because you on the bike, I'm on the bike, I'm riding too. You know what I'm saying? It was just that type of thing. So Christmas was exciting to us back then, man. You could contain yourself going to bed at night. I mean, just I remember my parents putting together my bicycles one time, under at the tree. They was putting it together then. So it was just different, man. I be excited during Christmas time, especially when I had kids. I used to be really, really excited, but now it's Christmas. It ain't like it was before. And it might be just because my kids are old. So what do y'all think about that? Either one of y'all. Let's go ahead.
Go ahead. I guess just let Jackie go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Let Jackie go
let
first.
Go.
Since we need to
All right.
tonight.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, to me, Christmas, like you said back then, we went outside. We was eager to have what we had, and our parents, grandparents, they made sure that we would have a good Christmas, whether we got what we wanted or not. They made sure that we was gonna have a good Christmas. Our stomach was gonna be full, and we was gonna, just enjoy it, with friends and family. And like you said, as far as being a child, like you said, it wasn't no better feeling than to go outside on a new bicycle, whether it was hot or cold. And I live closer to Illy, and so I run up there or ride up there and see what they got. And I remember they got a go-kart. Oh man, I was so happy for them. I wanted to jump on it with them, and they let me ride. So that's what I remember. Just being a kid, man. And then now as an adult, we know the true meaning of it. You know what I'm saying?
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, man. Same thing. Go ahead, Dick.
I guess I could just kind of put it into the short of it. As far back as I can remember, my mama told me if you believe in love, you'll always have a Santa Claus. And I didn't know what that meant until I got older and out on my own. And just the blessing of life, as you get older, because there's so many folks that ain't here, and to be able to celebrate this season. So just having that appreciation, just for being here, and whether Christmas was big or it was small, everyone was special. As you get older, things kind of change. You have some people close and near to you that pass away. Like I was blessed to have grandparents on time, and just now not having any grandparents, and with Big Mama not being here, and tomorrow being her birthday, it changes the celebration some. But at the same time, I want to be able to give my kids and grandkids, part of what she gave me. It was never monetary, it was never gift wise, but it was that love that she gave that made Christmas so special. And then with her birthday being Christmas Eve, it even made it more special. So that's just my take on it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Good deal. I didn't know Big Mama's birthday was on Christmas Eve.
Yep,
Did not know that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Blue, what you got?
I guess for me, the difference between now and back when we was kids, it was more back during those times. Most of our families didn't have much, so it was all about the celebration of the togetherness. Because a lot of times you would have family that you didn't really see throughout the year that would come home for the holidays. Y'all have big meals, catching up on what you done missed from the last year that you haven't seen each other. And I just think, just looking back from when I was a kid, in the times that we were in back then, most of the families didn't have a whole lot. So just like what Derek said, when you share, you was showed more about the love, and then like what Jackie said, even if you didn't get what you got, you were satisfied with what you got, and you enjoyed just the time that somebody took to get you something, even if it wasn't what you want, you got something. And
Amen.
to see that it wasn't in what they got, it was in the effort that they put forth to give you what they got,
Yeah.
is what was emphasized back when we was little. And a lot of times it wasn't so much as it was um, coming through the parents as much it was your grandparents. Because back then, grandparents had a lot of influence over grandchildren and the parents. So, it was like a domino effect, when the grandparents kind of passed things down to the parents and the kids at the same time. So the time between then and now, I think now it's more of a focus on what you have now. You just think back, okay, just like the simple thing that y'all said, uh, was getting a bicycle, and
Yeah.
everybody in the neighborhood was into getting bicycles, and whatever everybody got, everybody was happy just for it to be in their neighborhood, and just back then, no matter what we all had, it was like we all had it. We would
Yeah.
share it with each other. Even if somebody
Yep.
didn't get something, we would share it with each other. And
Yep.
it's like nowadays, I really don't see kids, even young kids, getting bicycles anymore. Like doing that outdoor activity like that. To me, it's more nowadays of showing what's going on with today's time, and kids getting the most modern thing. It's almost like parents are kind of like pushing kids to grow up faster. And then it's almost like those kids that still believe in Santa Claus, and those kids that still take take those things like that to heart and believe in it. It's almost like they're kind of singled out or kind of picked at because of what was passed on them from their parents and grandparents, to believe in things that they couldn't see, to believe that the things that people didn't believe could still happen. And it's almost like today's time, it's like, okay, we're gonna take that off the table, and we're gonna give you nothing but the facts. But why not let a child stay a child, even in their minds with their imagination, as long as they can. So when that time comes to where they do know the facts of life, guess what? They would cherish those times to where they did have the blinders on and didn't see the whole picture, and was able to get that spirit that they had as a child and pass it on to their kids. But it's so much nowadays to where we're dressing kids older. We're trying to give them the most modern things. Instead of giving them a bicycle, we're trying to get them a cell phone or an iPad, because this person got an iPad, or this person got a phone. This person's child got a phone, or this child got an iPad. We're trying to get the most modern stuff instead of just letting it stay simple. And I know it's kind of hard to do that in these times, because you can't keep your kids from looking around and seeing what the other kids got. But I just feel like the time between then and now is we didn't have as much as we do now. But we took what we had back then and made the best of it. And now it's all about, to me, seeming like that. Okay, what I get my children is a reflection of my finances, and I don't really think that that is the Christmas spirit in a sense, because it's all about the heart of the season, not the condition that you're in.
Right. I agree with you 100%, man. And that's, as you were saying that, I was sitting here thinking to myself, what things have been, had the technology been that when we was younger, and cell phones had been so easily accessible, do you think we still would have chose to be outside and running around,
Nope.
or would we have succumbed to the
No.
same thing? Y'all think so?
No.
Yeah.
No. Because what the simple answer to that is, the questions that we would ask, we wouldn't ask those adults around us. we would have cell phones to give us the raw truth.
Right.
Not the truth that we needed at that time for our age, but your cell phone don't know how old you are when you put a question in your phone. It's just gonna give you the answer.
Right.
So I just feel like nowadays kids are getting too much information too early.
Yeah. Well, and
it's hard to block that.
Yeah, and that's also one of the reasons why you're saying that it's like the kids being forced to grow up early. Well, we were given information on a need to know basis, basically.
Exactly.
When it came down to some things that you were told, you was only told when it was time for you to know.
Exactly.
But like you said, if you give a 8-year-old cell phone, he can look at anything he wants to. There's no way for you to regulate that. So yeah, I feel you.
Good question. Okay, I know y'all finna laugh at this now, but this is the truth. Okay, you just think about those questions that you could ask your phone, that an 8-year-old could ask their phone and get the raw truth, and then you have that same 8-year-old back during our time, to ask an adult that same question, and they would tell you to look it up, and even if you looked it up, you still wouldn't got the raw truth that you would get now. They didn't have the raw truth in an encyclopedia or a dictionary.
I mean, first of all,
so you would have still.
First of all, you had to go through all them different books and try to find the right answer. I was telling my kids,
how many kids gonna put that much time into a book?
Man, please. No, we was trying to get outside and play.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked about that stuff. I was telling my kids, I say, the funny thing about it is, if you wanted to use a computer outside of school, which you still didn't have a whole lot of access to those, if you wanted to use a computer, you had to go to the library and use a computer. And they were saying, really? You had to go all the way to the library to use a computer? I said, yeah. I said, computers at that point was something that our parents weren't finna pay for, and they was expensive. They were very expensive back then. I said, so and I'm talking about the computer with the floppy disk and all. And I said floppy disk, and they said, what is that?
What is that?
So I was like,
I feel like this. I mean, back then, like you said, if they ask a question, I think back to Reverend Black. Okay, 6th grade, we used to have to bring in current events.
Oh yeah.
And so as a grown-up, I got to the point where I would go get a newspaper.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And back to Christmas, Reverend Black, Norman, come over, rake my yard or cut my grass, for Christmas. That's what I miss too during Christmas. I mean, the older generation, for Christmas, like I said, we said come over and rake the leaves at that time, or we had to go pick pecans to get a little money, pocket money, for some change in our pocket, Mm-hmm. So that's how Christmas is different too, in my opinion.
True. That's true, because we went and worked on the farm. My granddaddy, man, we want money. You know what I'm saying? It turned from
apples, a bowl full of oranges, or something like that.
Man, I was telling them that too, man. That no matter what, I don't care where you was, I don't care who house you was at for Christmas, you always got a paper bag with an orange, an apple, some walnuts, some Brazil nuts, pecans, something. You gonna get some fruit
and a candy cane.
And a candy cane.
And a candy cane. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. And I don't know not one black household that did not do that. Not one.
Right. Yeah. Right. You had a bowl. You had a bowl in the kitchen or somewhere where it had all that, spread it around in the bowl, and whoever came by, get your handful, take some of that home with you.
Yeah.
But like what Jacko was saying, with Reverend Black, I remember that, and I can remember, just wanting to have a few dollars in your pocket as a child, and you was raised with the mindset to work for it. But if you go out there nowadays, just imagine Reverend Black was living right now, he would have a heart attack if he messed around and caught a little kid walking by the house and say, hey, y'all come over here and rake my yard and I'll pay y'all for it. the words that the kid probably would have told him would have gave him a heart attack
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the
it's
kids
rough,
ain't, you know,
man.
they ain't about that.
You
Yeah.
said something then though, man. You know, we was taught to I mean, I don't know if it was the same thing for the young girl growing up, but as young men, regardless of what kind of raising you would get, you were
Yeah.
always taught to work for what you want.
Right.
You know, my granddad told me a long time ago, stealing ain't an option. You know,
Right.
anything you want or need, you can get it from me. You gonna have to work for it, but you can get it. So there ain't no point of you going in no store picking up nothing that you know don't belong to you. Come ask me for it, and I put you to work, and you can get it. You can earn it.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. You know what I'm saying?
And then even when you think about it now, even back then, and I think about it because, you know, like for up till I was about 9 or 10, I was in my grandparents' house, and it was really I was just around my grandmama, and you know, even when it was just the women around, the women still put to the young boys that work ethic of if you want something, you got to work for it.
Yeah.
Even before they were, you know, if I asked my grandmother for something, she'd say, we'll go out there and get them brush brooms and rake the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she went uptown, if it was within reason what I asked for, she could get it, she would bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
it was just that respect thing. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
I respect your opinion about what you want, but okay, if you want it, work for it.
Hey man, I used to always seem to get think that it was I was being picked on or I was being treated bad. But it wasn't until I got grown that I realized that I was being taught character. You know,
Right.
that whole thing about having character is
Right.
something that you know, I don't know if I think we probably had enough in us to be able to teach our kids, you know what I'm saying? But everybody obviously don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I have met some young men that really, you know, and I don't know if it was the fact that they father wasn't around and their mama tried to overcompensate. You know, that's this one thing I think of a lot. That it's that overcompensation of not having that male around that it backfires a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it almost turns into a mama always that did it, so I expect mama to do it. You know, and not that mindset never flips over to you know, my mom been doing this all this time. Let me help her out. You know, it's like they mind don't flip over to that. I'm the man of the house. Let me help my mom out. It's just always my mama been doing it, so I expect her to keep doing it, you know. And I always said that, you know, not having that male role model in their life is one of the reasons that that happens. Now, I'm not, you know, I'm not certain of that. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know, but it just seemed like all the cases that I know, that's what that is exactly what has happened. That overcompensation. So, you know, I don't know if it's that or you know what exactly happens because you know we was you know like I said we was taught growing up you know you wanted something you had to work for it. It just seemed like these guys on a whole different path of and I don't know if it's the raising the upbringing or it's just the way society is right now. They don't care nothing about trying to actually go to work and earn something. It's about get something quick, get something fast, you know, getting famous quick. You know, everybody want to jump on YouTube now. Everybody want to jump on Instagram. You know, it's just you know, nobody has a career path per se. You know, I was talking to my son one day, and one of his friends, you know, his career path is I'm gonna game for the rest of my life. You know, it's some kids on YouTube and stuff that game and they get paid big money for it. They got sponsors and everything. But that ain't a path everybody gonna be able to take. And but he dead set on it, you know. Well, my son on one hand, you know, he loves construction. He want to learn how to drive heavy equipment. Hey, I think that's a good profession, son. You know, go for it. Anything we can do to help you, we got you. So I just wonder sometimes, is it just not having that male parent in the home, or is it just society, or is it the overcompensation of the female trying to make sure they son don't want for them because dad ain't right? I know I went off into something else just then. I'm sorry. Y'all know how this happens.
That's all right.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
So
But
what do
I
y'all
mean,
think
it's
about
just it's just the societal changes. Um, you know, it's the as generations go, so does the mentality. Um, so what is it? Generation Z now? It's like, you know, want everything handed to them instead of working for it. And you know, it's a sad situation, but at the same time, you know, times have changed for stuff to be handed to them. So
it?
you know, but the thing is, as they get older, the reality of everything somebody give you ain't really given to you. You still have to back one way or the other.
Right.
So you know, it could be your taxes 20 years from now. It could be your children's taxes 40 years from now, or your grandchildren's taxes 60 years from now. Whatever you get for free, it will get paid for eventually.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You know, we and my wife was just having this conversation about this generation of, you know, the instant gratification. You know, it's like
Yeah,
some of them don't mind working, but they want they up and
yeah,
comings now. You know, they don't want to put the as they say, pay your dues. They don't want to pay no dues. You know, they want theirs now. You know, one of the reasons that we having a people, you know, a lot of jobs that are not fulfilled, it ain't necessarily because of COVID and people, you know, they try to blame it on the fact that, you know, COVID helped push people into going into business for themselves. I agree. A lot of that happened. A lot of that happened. You know, I'm not gonna come back and work for you for $5 an hour when I can pretty much do what I like doing and make $20 an hour. So, you know, that's a no-brainer. I ain't coming back neither. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all ain't gonna raise your pay, I can't come back. So a lot of people went into business for themselves. A lot of people went into business doing the same thing they were doing, just doing it for themselves. I get that. But a lot of it is the young people that they are trying to hire and the young people that they want in these positions, you know, they're not finna do it because they want that instant gratification. I don't want to work my way up through the ranks. I want to be manager now. You know, I went to school. I want to be manager. You know, even though you ain't got no experience whatsoever. You know, but you got somebody who is a little older that been with the company for 20 years and you would still hire them people over him, you know, just because they got a little education behind their name. But you know, and that's what I think the problem. There what the shortage is when it comes to workers out here right now. You know, but it's that Generation Z, as you call it. I think that's right. It's that instant gratification, man. I'm telling you, they want it. They got to have it. Or
yeah.
and then you can also say, I thought about this too. You can also say that it ain't necessarily an instant gratification thing. It's just I know it don't work.
Yeah.
So you can't fool me with the okadoke. So you know, it might be a little bit of both of that. You know, y'all
Yeah.
thoughts or opinions on that?
Yeah. Well, me, I mean, I feel like this, man. I mean, I I feel like you start at the you should not saying you should start at the bottom, but you work your way up wherever you start from, and nothing easy is handed to you, or nothing you know, nothing is handed to you. In other words, nothing is handed to you. You just got to have a good work ethic and willing to work your way up. Not saying you got to kiss butt, but just work your way up, do your job, and have good work ethics. I think that's what our generation was taught to have good work ethics. Like I
Mhm.
said, from Reverend Black to I remember one of my neighbors, Mr. Junior Smith. You know, his wife, Miss Nanny K, used to have me to come up and mop her floor for $2. You know, I'm thinking that back then, I didn't think about $2. I thought $2, okay, I got $2 in my pocket. I can go buy $2 worth of candy, $2 worth of soda, or chips or something, or save it or whatever, But what I'm saying is, nothing is handed to you. You got to work for what you want. And I guess that's what a lot of, it's not being taught to the generation now. Work for what you want, no matter what it is. If you're making $10 an hour, you're making $10 an hour. Make $10 an hour until you can make $10.50 an hour. Make $10.50 an hour until you make $12 an hour. That's how I see it.
Yep, I agree with you, man. It's one of the things that I always want to do, and one of the purposes that we do this show, I've said this before, and y'all, people that watch the show, they've heard me say it before. The whole purpose is to give somebody some insight on what the future look like for you if you keep yourself together and try to live a healthy young man's life. And the only way to do that is with the Lord and guidance. You can't do it without either one of them. You got to have some type of guidance. If you ain't got an older dude you can lean on, man, for information, it's rough out there. You will learn it. You'll learn most of the stuff the hard way, like we did. Some stuff we got taught because we had men around that tried to teach us stuff. Some stuff we were knucklehead about it. We just had to go through it to see it for ourselves. But to just have somebody that you can trust to talk to is you're way ahead of the game if you got an older dude in your company. Just you always got somebody you can go back to. Mr. Bryant, let me talk to you about something. Tell me what you think. And I might not give you the right answer, but I can at least give you a couple of scenarios that happened to me or my opinion on something that you might help you make a better decision than trying to go at it alone. So once again, I've been asked several times, why y'all keep doing this. That's why we keep doing it. So I'm gonna get back on track though, because we supposed to be talking about Christmas. So
I got
let me say this right here, Brian.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Oh, you go ahead, Derek.
All right. The other day, I was watching Nick Cannon show, and at the end of the show, he had a TD Jakes quote, and it says, "If you have achieved any level of success, then pour it into someone else. Success is not success with a successor."
Right.
So the thing is that don't come with a level.
Yes, sir.
Success could be, you could be the best floor mopper. You could be the best ditch digger. You could be the best, whatever, plumber, mechanic, whatever it is. And, ever since I was 18, left home, the first thing I did after I got out of basic training and tech school, I got in a gas truck. And besides about 15 months where I worked at a prison, and at a couple of months I worked at Aaron's, the rest of the time of my adult life, I've been dealing something with gas. And I look at, I don't know it all. I may not even be the best, but the little level of success that I have, I'm going to put that into somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I know that what I had to go through to the little bit that I got in this business.
Yeah. Yes,
so
sir.
Just pouring something into somebody else, even if it's putting somebody to the side. And one of the things that was, especially when I was dispatching, I told a good friend of mine, this guy named Mike Porter, he still stay over there in Savannah. I told him, you're only good as your last dispatch.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the next day going to bring.
Yes,
and
sir.
every time me and him talk, he bring that up. And now he used that same thing, and he poured that same energy into other people that I poured into him. Yeah. And, just like with stuff like that, that little bit there make me feel good, because I think about how, my daddy went out there at Mellux, the guy on that forklift for 33 years. The one day he couldn't do it no more, done. Not no Mr. Hinton, let us help you get back to work. Mr. Hinton, how you feeling? Don't.
Uh,
So, I look at that. I look at how my mama had to work 2 and 3 jobs. She go and from some regional during the day, she go to Montezuma sometimes at night, then go to the Magnolia Manor at night too.
mhm.
Byronville, she done worked all over the place. So I look at, you know, they poured into me and I didn't even know it. I observed, I
Yeah.
watched them work for us to have something. And I watched my granddaddy go out there and cut metal at metal. And I remember his smell when he came home from work. I remember the smell of that metal on him. And I
Mhm.
look at they poured into me and never said a word.
Yeah.
So it's my obligation, whether it's children, grandchildren, my wife, whoever it may be, co-workers, I'm gonna pour something into you so you can get to where you want to be in life.
Right. Right. That's hey man. If you achieve anything in life, if it's just old age, you got
Yeah,
something to pour into somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You know, I've always I've had other kids that been around my kids tell me that I was a good dad and they wish they had dad like me. And I used to always say, no, don't say that because my thing is I am not perfect by a long shot, you know. But then I had to start thinking about it. If what they actually said. I wish I had a dad like you because I ain't got that kind of dad. You know what I'm saying? It had to I didn't want that responsibility, I guess you say. I didn't
Yeah,
want nobody looking at me thinking that, I was just like father of the year. I went to hustle. We ain't the hustlers over here. I still cuss hard. And some of your kids that done been around my kid probably heard plenty of it. So, I ain't never want that title, and I ain't want them going back saying, they got good daddy and all this. I didn't never want you to I want matter of fact, one in particular, I tell you the story that he said that I wish you were my dad because my dad ain't hitting on that, you know. And I told him, I said, listen, I don't want you comparing your daddy to me because your dad and my dad's situation might be completely different. Now, I
yeah,
ain't saying that he good, I ain't saying that he bad. That's left up for you to decide. But what I don't want you to do is not have the full picture of who your daddy really is,
yeah,
and and just you go ahead and write him off because if you already wrote him off, then y'all will never have a relationship in your entire life. So if you care anything about your father, I say express your concerns to him. That's what you need to do. You need to talk to him about it. Let him know how you feeling. Because if you don't never tell him, he might still think he dad of the year. But you got to go talk to him and tell him this yourself. And he was a teenager at the time, and so I felt like, I can talk to him and he'll understand exactly what I'm saying. And I think him and his dad relationship got better. It still ain't where he wanted it to be, but it got better you know. And my wife was telling me, just earlier today that she like it just seemed like the older you get, you get a little bit more wise and some situations that in the past I would have blew up on. Now I stop and think and try to get my words together, get my thoughts together. If I have to say a quick prayer in my head real quick, give me the word, that's what I do, instead of just popping off on folk like I used to do in the past. And like I said, all that came because of somebody pouring something into me. When me and my wife was going through a real hard time in our marriage, man, I had somebody pull my coattail and said, if you want to be respected in your household, here go a certain few things that you need to do. And you gotta mean it. You gotta really understand what you doing, who you talking to, because you ain't just talking to no random chick off the street. This is the woman you decide to marry and have kids with. So there's a certain respect you gotta give her no matter what. you know. So if you can't bring yourself to one, respecting your wife, and two, being honest and open with your wife, and three, being able to learn when to shut up and not always be right, you know, and those, you know, just a couple of little tips that he gave me open the door back up for me and my wife to really get in and talk about what the issue was and get things squared away. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it so much, man. Because had, like I said, not having an older dude around that not gonna sugarcoat it for you, that's gonna really tell you what needs to be happening, and at least give you some type of advice or some experience that he didn't experience that can help you make a better decision in your life is paramount, I believe, in becoming a man. And earlier you can be taught this stuff, the better you'll be. The better you'll be. So I say this to the young people that, you know, do get to watch this from time to time. Seek out your older gentleman. You know, pick wisely though, because we, you know, I do know some dudes that are my age, 50 and above, that they still think they in their 20s and they still doing some of the most ignorant stuff I ever seen in my life. You know, they ain't want to, you know, they make the type of people you really want to take advice from. So just be careful when you choose them. And you can always contact us. We, you know, our contact information is everywhere. You know, in these videos, you know, some situation we done talked about in the past. If you want to reference them or go back and look at them, start from the beginning and move up. You know, our videos got a little better from time to time. It'll probably get even more better if we did it more regularly, especially the live shows. And we do have some better tape than on YouTube. We just hadn't uploaded these last few ones yet, but you know, we getting better at this. The production is getting better, the lighting getting better, the sound is getting better. You know, we getting better. We're gonna keep moving forward because that's what I've been charged to do. So, you know, I want to, you know, encourage the guys that listen to the show, that watch the show, the ones that come in on here all the time when we on, to join in. You know, if you don't want to join in publicly, you know, send me a message, let me know, because I can have you in the background. You can put an avatar up. Show your avatar, Derek.
Oh, I got plenty. Which one you want?
You know the one I want.
Oh, that one?
Now, the white head one.
Hold on.
Yep, you had that avatar right there. Just put your picture up there, man. You can be a Sunny Meadow. Who cares, you know? So
Yep.
you don't have to have your face on here. We'll just hear your voice, you know. So, but you know, keep commenting. Keep, you know. I know this might have been short notice, but oh, Derek got plenty of y'all. But you know, there was a little short notice tonight, you know. But I just wanted to get on here because we had been promising we were gonna go live. I had a lot of technical difficulty last week and this past Tuesday when we tried to get on. I think we all in different places. I didn't even get back when I thought I would get back. So uh you know, like I said, it's always time to get on here, you know, even when we, you know, like now we almost at the end of the show. But before we go though, I do want to say this. Merry Christmas, everybody. You know, happy New Year. And remember that when the year changes, you know, you can it's a good time for you to make changes in your life. You know, whether you're a young man, old man, you know, especially older dudes. You know, a lot of time older dudes seem like or seem to think that they can't make a change, and you know they can't better themselves in any shape, form, or fashion. But that's just simply not the truth. Um, any day is a good day to make a change. If you haven't been active in your child's life, make a change, make an effort, you know, because remember this, if you don't remember that now, it ain't about the other person on the other end, it's about that child. If everybody could lay down their arms for a minute, stop firing at each other, and think about the child in the middle, because that's who get hurt, the kid. I know of a situation now where a kid is getting, almost destroyed behind, the parents can't get along. And it's heartbreaking because I see it happening and I can't do nothing about it. And I'll just implore anybody to understand and put your guns down, stop shooting, and take care of the kid. Make sure the kid come first beyond everything. If that can happen, the kid can grow up and live a long, productive life and don't have to get caught in the middle of nobody else's BS. Okay. But I'm specifically talking to men right now. You can't keep running away from the situation and knowing that you got a kid out there and you're not taking care of. That's just counterproductive for our entire race as black men. You can't sit up and talk about how all the black boys are gay, how all the black boys ain't hitting on then all they do is get in trouble, and every time you see them they locked up, they doing this, that, and the other. You can't keep talking about them if you're not doing anything to help. I'm a big, 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 F, I don't know what I'm trying to, I know what I'm trying to say, the words ain't coming out, but I'm all about trying to make sure that our young black men get what they need as far as having somebody in their corner. So when things happen, they got somebody that they can lean on. It is no better feeling in this world than to have somebody in your corner that you can lean on, that gonna come and see about you no matter what. Somebody that know your character and theirs, so you don't have to worry about whether or not they believe you. They come to see about me regardless. So like I said, grown men with some business about yourself, seek out a child that that don't have a father figure, ain't got a big brother, and I'm not telling you to be a father to them, just be a friend, help them out, talk to them. If you got a young married man that is just out here wilding, pull that cat to the side, man. Say, listen, man, I see you. I'm not trying to tell you how to be a man, but I see some things you're doing that you're not gonna be married long, or you're gonna get yourself in a whole lot of hurt behind it if you don't change some of the stuff that you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. They can accept it or not accept it. If they don't, move on. But in the meantime, do your due diligence in your neighborhood to try to make sure that young boys who don't have nobody got somebody. You be that person. Okay. So, is there anything else, Phyllis, y'all want to discuss before we go?
I want to say a few things.
Go ahead, bro.
Just thinking, about what you were saying, what all three of y'all been saying. Um, when it comes to young men or even with young women, a lot of times, it takes, in order for us to grow, it takes one of those things to where the situation that you in has got to become uncomfortable and you won't change.
True that.
Even as a child, as you growing up, if if you was in a household where there wasn't any men around for you to mirror yourself from, to where at a certain point being around just women or acting a certain way doesn't should become uncomfortable, but it's only going to become uncomfortable when you can see yourself through another person, which whether it's a man or a woman. If you're a man or you're a young man, you need to see yourself through a young man. If you're a young woman, you need to see yourself through a young woman. That way, as you become older and you watch those people that you mirror yourself from do certain things, then when you get to a certain level or a certain age, certain things you were doing should become uncomfortable to where you want to grow out of that. And a lot of times we don't have that around us to where we have that guidance around us to show us where, hey, at this point, you should be growing to the next level to where this level should be getting uncomfortable.
Right.
And like I tell my boys, it's like this. Um, it, it as as you start to grow older, you know, just like I told them, I've been working since I was 13. So a work ethic in them, that's all they done seen. But
Right.
with that, it's like I developed this at a young age. I was always going to work, and no matter, this is the problem that we have as people in general, men or women. We won't work a job to provide if we feel like it's below what our worth is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to work where you at to get where you know you should be,
Yes, sir.
because it takes some things. Sometimes it takes us having to go through something to appreciate where God is leading us to, or where we're going to. So I tell my boys like this: when you go on a job, work that job to the best of your ability. After you have learned how to do that job constantly, consistently, after you have learned how to do that job consistently, before you get complacent or before you get too comfortable in that job, I always ask myself the question: can I see myself doing this job for 20 or 30 years?
Mhm.
And if my answer is no, I already know that I'm going to give 100% at doing my job, but I'm still going to give another 110% to aim higher for the next level. Because guess what? When I said no to that particular job, guess what? They already let me know within myself that I'm uncomfortable where I'm at, but I'm not uncomfortable enough to where I can't do the job. So
Mhm.
you always want to better yourself, but in bettering yourself, you always got to be persistent, and always got to give 110% at what you're doing. And this, and I constantly tell them this. I constantly tell my boys this, and this is for boys, this for men and women. Ask yourself that question. If you're uncomfortable in a position, then guess what? Ask yourself that question: can I see me doing this job 20 or 30 years? And if your answer is no, give 100% to your job and 110% to go to the next level.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
agree. I agree. There are times, man, when you got to just stick with what you got going on. But if you're doing it to the best of your ability, a lot of times people see that. The brightest light gonna outshine everybody else, man. Uh, and I've seen situations where even with my wife and her job, my wife always on point with what she do. Everything she back up everything. She don't speak unless she know she on the level on what she talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it's some people within her company that have noticed that. And I think they looking out for her and trying to get her to move up to another position. She don't necessarily want that position, but they trying to put it in management. And she's like, that ain't something I really want to do. But yeah, but it's just the fact that they recognize what you do every day, and that's a good feeling just to be recognized. Sometimes just somebody is watching, and seeing that you put forth that effort every day. You know, I always say it, and I always was told, I don't care, no matter what you do it to the best of your ability. If it
Absolutely.
ain't your thing, it ain't your thing. But in the meantime, while you in the process of trying to discover what your thing is, whatever you doing, it's worth putting all the work into it. Because I've heard people say stuff like, "Man, they ain't paying me to do no more than this." Whether they paying you to do more than that or not, you should want to do more than that. So you just always do your best, man. Always, always, always. There is no excuse for being mediocre when you don't have to be. So anyway, with that being said, fellas, I did have one more question before we go. Jackie, what was your favorite? What's the best Christmas present you ever got in your life?
Oh wow. Oh man, good question. Good question. Very good. I can't say, man. Honestly, I don't know. Again, as a child, my mom, grandmother, and father, and them, they did, what they could do, and all the Christmases that I remember were on point. You know, it was good. It was good. Maybe I didn't get everything I wanted all the time, but it was close enough, and I was thankful for that. The best Christmas, man. Your basketball goal in the backyard.
Mine.
Your basketball goal in the backyard.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I feel you.
That was
There,
mine too. I was up. I was there a lot. So your
Oh
basketball.
yeah.
Yep.
We dusted up a lot of clothes back there. Yes,
That's
sir.
one of
We dusted up.
them. In your boom box.
Oh yeah. Hey, them my gifts, man. What about yours?
And Pookie, your go kart.
Okay, so
we
we
had
gonna
some
see.
times on that thing.
We gonna strike you down as multiple. Derek, what about you?
Man, it's like I can't put one thing into it, but I can say this, man. You know, we're almost 2 years into a pandemic. What 800,000 plus people are gone. But I can say my greatest gift as a child and from heaven above was happiness. Man, just going to Big Mama and Big Dad's house and seeing Big Daddy grinding up that hog head, making brumley stew. Um, just being able to be a child in that time that I had, and the smells, the food, the laughter, the gifts were always secondary, but just being happy. And if it's anything that I can say to anybody out there, life is short. Man, be happy. If 2022 bring you anything, and let's not make it 2022, make it 2022. Let's make it a new year and go out there and just be happy. Some people are living a miserable existence. Get your happiness.
Yes.
Get your happiness.
Man, you said
That's
something.
all I gotta say.
Yeah.
You said something then, bro. Boy, you said something then.
Yeah.
All right, Illy, same question, bro. What's your best Christmas gift ever?
Best Christmas or best Christmas gift?
Brett, best Christmas ever. Growing up.
I would have to say, just thinking about it because every Christmas I do. But the best gift that I got was probably like Jackie said when I had that goat cart, because it was almost like when I got on it, my cousin Mike got on it, and Jack got on it, and we was everywhere on it. So that was like my best gift. But my best Christmas is, I would have to say, the last Christmas that my parents, my sister, and my brother, and all of us was together.
Amen.
The last
Amen.
Christmas that my mom was alive, so that was what 2004. So that was probably the last Christmas that she was here, and at that time everybody else was here. So if I had to pick one particular Christmas, it would probably be the last Christmas that we was all living together. We was all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be it.
I feel you
Man.
on that. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all my best Christmas ever. The best Christmas ever were probably when my kids were, I think BJ might have been 10 or 11. I think Taylor might have been 13 or 14. And we had got him, he wanted a laptop so bad. We had got him a laptop. And I can't remember what Taylor got, but I remember BJ getting that laptop. And he opened that thing and saw it was a laptop. He put it down and ran to hug me and was in absolute tears. That feeling that I got, that feeling of love I got from him, and obviously it wasn't about the laptop. It was just the fact that we heard it. You know what I'm saying? We heard what he said, we heard what he wanted. We had been telling him we couldn't afford to get him one, but yet he opened it and there it was. You know, so that was probably the best Christmas I ever had. The best gift I ever had was that Baja bicycle I got that Christmas, that it was hot and everybody was out riding bikes. I mean, when I'm talking about it was 20-25 kids riding bikes that Christmas day. Man, I'm telling you, that had to be the second in the best Christmas I ever had. That, you know what I'm saying? And the best present, because I had that Baja bike, man. I'm telling you, I rode that thing till my butt was sore. You know, so that was mine. That was mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's it, man. We've been on here for an hour, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it short. Like I said, I keep saying that y'all Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and as Derek said, man, find your happiness. Stop letting people take your joy. You know, I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but if you know, being happy is a choice. I learned this from my sister. Being happy is a choice. You know, you got to wake up every day and make the decision. I'm going to be happy no matter what today. I don't care what come at me. I don't care how it come at me. I don't care what try to destroy my joy today. I'm not going to let it happen. You know, I ain't saying you got to be smiling through tragedy. All I'm saying is don't let them take your joy. You know, find a reason to be happy. I don't care what it is, you know. Hey, well, at least this didn't happen. Find that little bit of that little piece of happiness throughout your day, every day, and make it a choice to be happy. All right. With that being said, y'all, we out. Merry Christmas. Thank you all that joined us for joining us. Leave us some more messages. You know, we love y'all. And like I said, if you got a kid or a young person that need a little help, need somebody to talk to, y'all, send them our way. We'll be glad to help them. And that's it. So this is probably gonna be the last one for a couple of weeks, y'all, because everybody's probably gonna be on vacation for Christmas, and I know while my kids out of school for college and high school, we're gonna probably try to get in the wind sooner or later here. So it might be a couple, 2 or 3 weeks before we get back on again. But y'all be looking out. I'll post it and let everybody know and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, y'all, good night, peace, and have a good one.
Deuces. Go dog. Go dog.
That's right.
Oh, there it is.
Dog.
There it
Go
is.
dog.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Later, fellas.
Peace.